Hi guys, thanks for hitting that thumbnail to watch this video. But before we start the video, I'd like to take the time to please ask you to not forget to hit the like button if you liked the video and leave a comment on what you thought about the video. It only helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you can, join the channel. And if you can't really join the channel, but you want to say thank you, then hit that super thanks button down below for just a couple bucks or whatever you feel like you want to give. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. And I hope you enjoy the video. Today we're going to take a look at how to install Pop OS. Why Pop OS? Well, the reason why we're going to install Pop OS is because I haven't taken a look at it in a long time. Also, a lot of people have been asking me about Pop OS. Is it still recommended for a new to Linux user? And so why not? Let's take a look at it again. It's based off of Ubuntu. It's the 22.04 LTS. And what I've done is I've downloaded the ISO and I've spun it up and I'm going to install it into a virtual machine. The virtual machine is given 4 cores and 4 gigs of RAM. So this should work veritably on any lower end spec laptop or desktop. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. And here we are at the actual initial, after I've already spun up the ISO in the boot drive. I have got it to here, and it's really right here where I stopped at with it. So there is no misgivings in any way, shape, or form as to what's going on here, as far as what is, what you're seeing from the beginning of me doing the installation. Because some people are like, you already got it installed to the desktop, and then you do your review, and you don't really show us the actual installation process. So I'm going to do the actual installation process. So here we go. You'll notice that the graphics are not worth a hoot at this or login. Right? When you log into the live CD environment, this is what it looks like. So it's not optimized. So we're going to hit settings, and it's going to take a minute to open up. And we're going to go down here to displays. We're going to go from the 1024 to times 768 to the 1920 by 1080, and we're going to hit apply. Up at the top right hand corner, we're definitely going to keep these changes, and now we have a much better looking resolution. Now understand that this is not a persistent live environment, so it's not going to save it so that the next time you log in, if you log into it, it's going to be this way. And B, I don't know if their installer actually offers to copy any settings that you might have adjusted in the live environment over to the new installation. So we'll find out. We're going to go ahead and close out of it right now. Now understand that this is the Cosmic Desktop, and the Cosmic Desktop is a fork of the GNOME Desktop. It's been reworked, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It was all the rage when it first came out, and it's still all the rage as far as I know now. I really enjoy the Cosmic Desktop. So it's automatically selected English as the primary language, and that suits me just fine. So I'm going to hit select. Next, it's going to select my region of the country or the world where you live at. So I live in the United States. If you live in Canada, you could always select Canada. If you want to live in Antigua or Barbuda, I don't know where Barbuda is, or Australia or Botswana, you could select your country right here. But I'm going to leave it on the United States, and I'm going to select that. Next is English language. US English for the keyboard layout. Yes, I am going to select that. The default keyboard itself, which is I think the 105 key or whichever, so I'm going to select that. And now we have which type of install we're going to do, a custom advanced install or a clean install. If you click on custom advanced, it's going to take you to a Gparted type advanced install where you, as a more seasoned vet, can select your partition sizes from your like your EFI boot, your swap partition size, and your actual root directory partition size. You set those three in there, the type that they are, and the type of file structure that they are going to be. You can select all of that and make it yourself. So if you want to do BTRFS, you can do BTRFS. If you want to do ZFS, you can do it. Extend 4, extend 3, extend 2, whatever. That's under the custom. But on clean install, it's just going to do its default install, which I believe will be just a standard extend 4 drive and the different, like the 512 of the EFI, and then like I think 4 to 6 gig or maybe 10% of your RAM will be about 4 gigs of RAM. Root partition will be the rest of the hard drive. So it's going to do that. It's going to automatically partition and set the file structure. So next we're going to click erase and install. And it's going to ask now to create, while it's doing that, it's going to ask to create the actual user. So we're going to give it a username, and we're going to hit next, and then we're going to choose a password. And you're going to want to make this one a little strong and complicated because, that's the purpose of a password, is to secure it. So I did a super duper strong one. Now I'm going to click next. And now it's drive encrypted. You can encrypt the drive. By default, it's ticked. Now, what that is it's basically going to encrypt the hard drive so that every time that you go to boot up into your computer, into your PC, you're going to have to put in the password to unencrypt the hard drive. And then it'll log into your desktop. And then when you go to log in, you'll go to the login screen. And when you log into your desktop, you put in a password again, and so forth and so on. Encryption of your drive is strictly up to you. If you want the added layer of security, then yes, go ahead and do that. It prevents people from, if you're in a laptop, somebody steals your laptop, it prevents them from taking that hard drive out and placing it into a dock on another PC and actually reading the contents of that drive because it's encrypted. And they'll have to know the password to actually view any of those files. They'll just get a scrambled bunch of numbers and whatever else it'll give them. It'll just give them a bunch of gibberish. So if you're on a laptop and you run the risk of losing it because you like take it to school or cafes or whatever, somebody can lift it from you, then yeah, I would definitely encrypt a hard drive. If it's a desktop and it's staying at home and you're not really porting it around and there's not a lot of high theft in your area, then you don't need to really worry about that. But it's, once again, strictly up to you if you want that added layer of security. So I'm going to go ahead and set the password. Oh, sorry. I'm going to hit don't encrypt. My bad. Don't encrypt. And now it's partitioning the drive and it's extracting the files. And when it's done, I will resume the video when it's all ready to be rebooted. Okay, and it has finished the installation. And so now we are going to restart the device. Huge mouse. This is as it's detecting the video drivers in the background. This is a virtual machine thing. Now the mouse is, see how it's now normal sized? And here we are. That's strange. Where are we? We'd be getting logged in right now with we should be getting to the GDM welcome screen, login screen. And here we go. Oh, it logged right in. Back into the actual what you call it? Live CD system. So let's go ahead and power off and restart it again. Okay, so we're powered off. Now we're going to launch it again. There we go. Let's see what we're gonna do, what it's gonna do here. There we go. And so now we are here at the GDM login screen, and we're logging in. And so once again, we could, this is the welcome window from Pop OS. So let's go ahead, and we're not going to worry about the system updates yet. Dock doesn't extend to edges, no dock, or extend it to edges. This is a setting for the dock appearance down here at the bottom. This dock at the bottom. You can make it to where it goes all the way across, or it doesn't extend to the edges, or it does go to the edges. So I'm going to do it doesn't, so it's kind of like a floating dock. And we're going to hit next. So it's a little bit of a customization thing. Next, we're going to configure the top bar. Show the workspaces button, show the applications button, and the date and time in the center, which we could select left or right. We're going to leave it at center, just the way that it is. Open and switch applications from a launcher. The super key will press the super key or use an icon in the dock to display the launcher search field. Use arrow keys to quickly switch between open windows or type in the name of the application that you want to launch. Okay, so that would be this button right here to show the launcher. We're going to hit, okay, that's an informational thing. Also, they've got gestures built in for the laptop users. 4 fingers swiping left, I believe, will open the applications menu. And you swipe up and down and it switches between workspaces. And 3 fingers will switch between windows. So then you have dark mode and you have light mode. This is what light mode looks like, which is blinding. And then this is what dark mode looks like. I'm going to leave it at dark, and I like that they defaulted to dark from the get-go. Privacy. Do you want location services turned on or off? Once again, this is for opting in and opting out. I'm going to leave them off. Time zone. I am going to pick the Los Angeles time zone. I do not live in Los Angeles, but I am on the West Coast. And these are accounts that you could set up when you are setting up for online accounts, like your Nextcloud account, your Google account, Microsoft, all that good stuff. So anyhow, I'm just going to skip that. I'm not going to add any of these to this. And then now we are all done. So we're going to start using Pop OS. And that closes the welcome menu out. So now, first things we're going to do is we're going to go to the settings. We are going to go down to display, which is ironic that they don't do this with displays set it to 1920 by 1080, because I don't know of any displays out there that aren't 1920 by 1080 anymore. So, I mean, it's just a little ironic that they still don't do that. But either way, and you're going to click apply, and you're going to keep changes, and now you have a resolution that looks fantabulous. And since we're here, you can see that in the regular settings menu, which is found down here on the bar, and also in applications, I'm sure, right here's settings. So here you have your full suite of settings that you can change, from network settings, Bluetooth. Your desktop has different subcategories within it, such as background, appearance, dock, which you can, this is a little bit more extensive than the welcome menu dock settings. Like you can enable it, disable it. You could, the edges, you can set it to edges. You can show the launcher icon on the dock. So if we turn it off, it's gone. If we put it on, it's there. Workspaces icon on the dock, which I don't like. We don't need that. Applications icon on the dock, we'll keep that there. Although I think it's kind of redundant that you have it up top and then you also have it on the dock. And, you know, it is what it is. I'll leave it there. Mounted devices, yes. If you click on an icon, this is what the action will be. It'll launch or minimize windows or whatever. So I'm going to click the cycle or cycle windows. And then dock visibility, always visible. You can turn on auto hide. I'm going to leave it always visible. Intelligent hide, show dock on display. If you have multiple monitors set up, you could show which one you want the dock to be on, the primary display or on all displays. And then, excuse me, you could select the dock size. Right now it's set to medium. Here's small. and there's large. I personally like small, so I'm going to set it to small. I like the most real estate that I can get on my monitors. For the position of the dock, you can switch it from the bottom of the screen where it's at now to like the left side or the right side. We're going to leave it at bottom. Okay. And the dock and icon alignment on the screen. You want it in the center? Do you want it in a start position like Windows? I'm going to leave it at center. Or you want it on the end, which would be all the way to the right. I'm going to go back to center. So anyhow, that's what you can do with the dock menu. And then workspaces, you can adjust how many workspaces you have. Workspaces, they span the display. So in other words, it's on all the displays if you have more than one display, or you can have it show just from the primary display. Also, the placement of the workspace picker, you can have it along the left side or along the right side. I'm going to leave it on the left side, which is a custom one, and then we're going to just go back to our settings. So then you've got, notifications, applications. In this one, you could set, for all the applications that are installed, you could set things with them. Like, let's go to calendar right here. You can search it or not search it, allow it to be searchable or not, text files, all that good stuff. There's just all kinds of settings that you could do within applications for applications in there. Under privacy, you can turn on location services, Thunderbolt, file history and trash. Many subcategories underneath that as well. Online accounts, once again, that is where you can go and add them, which I'm not going to for sharing. This will allow you to have remote desktop on, which you can turn on and off if you have those installed. And also multimedia sharing if you have them turned on. Like if you go up here and toggle it, right? And then remote desktop, you can actually turn it on. You can enable the protocol that you want it to use, the device name, how, the address to actually, access it, and then also the username and the password to get into it. So, I mean, you can do that. And also multimedia sharing is the same way. You can set up what exactly you want to share, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and turn them back off because we don't need to worry about those. I'm going to close out of that, turn that back off. And that is a look at sharing. Also sound. Now this is where you can adjust your system sounds, your output devices, as well as your input devices. Power management is here. So you can set it to, lock your screen goes black after 5 minutes and automatically suspend after X amount of time. Displays is where you adjust your resolution. Now, I recently had somebody have a problem with their display resolution. They installed a operating system, and in Windows, which is what they were coming from, and it was a new to Linux user, probably been converted maybe 3 days now. They're used to doing stuff in Windows, and they adjusted the scaling to make it a little bit more zoomable, more legible in their reading of it. Well, in Linux, you can leave your scaling at 100%, and then you can actually zoom your applications and like your Internet Explorer through the hamburger buttons or within the application. Like oftentimes Control and the plus symbol will zoom whatever window it is that you're in, especially if you're like in Terminal or File Manager. You can actually adjust it as well to the zoom on it. You don't have to adjust your scaling. So just understand that. You don't try without that and using the other methods I just spoke with first before you adjust scaling in Windows, because it really gave him a crappy resolution on his laptop. It was pretty bad. Once he put it back to 100%, it was beautiful. Mouse and touchpad settings are right here. Keyboard, printers. This is where you would add any printers. Removable media will be right here, and it'll tell you what to do, like CD audio, DVD, music player. You can set whatever you want there. Color picker. This is where you can adjust your color and for your monitor to calibrate it. You can add a profile and calibrate it and save it. You can switch between them. Firmware. If you have any firmware, this will tell you what's there and what you can do with them. Regional language, accessibility, users. You can certainly add a user here as well. Default applications. This is going to for your web, your mail, your calendar. It's going to give you all the default applications, and this is where you could change them to your favorite application, other than the default ones that they have here. For date and time, this is where you can adjust the date and time. For upgrade and recovery, this is going to tell you if you have any system upgrades that are available or automatic updates. You can turn them on or off and what you want them to do right away. For support, this is going to take you to where you can go to the documentation. You can go to their support and join their chat, and you can create log files here, which they can send them to you. And then, of course, this is the about, which is going to tell you it's Pop OS. You know, how many RAMs, what's going on with it, and that kind of stuff as far as the device that it's in. So that's your system operation system specs right there. Now, you right click on the desktop, you can go here and you can change the background. Let's go ahead and see the backgrounds that are actually available. They got the cosmic. You got some kind of new wave ones. I'm not too fond of those. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. They only have a couple of cool ones, really. Like this one's okay. The Earth or the Moon trajectory is okay. This Moon one here, this one's actually pretty cool too. I mean, they have a few cool ones, but all in all, not anything super great to me. But let's go ahead and pick this one. And then under appearance, of course, here you can change between it. Once again, the dark and light, of course, the dock settings and the workspace settings right here. So there's that. And so the rest of the drop-down menus are you can just display settings. You can select desktop icon settings. You can show which ones are on the desktop or turn them off the desktop, whichever one you want. And so there is a look at the right click on the desktop button. Okay, so now over here, if you click on workspaces, as you can see, you have one workspace and you have two workspaces that you can choose from. You could have up to 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever. But you could it displays right here. And then if you click on it, it goes away. Of course, if you hit applications, it's kind of like the GNOME desktop environment. And it's categorized at the bottom where you got your library home, and then you got Office, which has got the LibreOffice suite installed. For system tools, these are all your system tools like your disk usage analyzer, advanced network configuration, language support, passwords and keys, power statistics, startup applications, and system monitor. Go ahead and open that and take a look at what we're at. We'll click on resources here, and we can try to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. And as you can see, my CPU usage is pretty mild. My memory right now that it's using of my 4 gigabytes is actually kind of high. If you look at it, you're looking at right around 2.3 gigabytes. 56% of my RAM is being used right now. I don't know why. That's not good, actually. And none of my swap is being used of the 8.4 gigabytes that it wanted. It was double, actually. My RAM is what it is. And so it's like 8.4 gigabytes. That's insane. That is insane. So the processes, if we click on processes, what is the biggest thing? The registry thing here is using almost a gig of RAM. That is. I'm going to end the process, see what it does. If I crash it. Oh, and IP bus under resources. No, didn't touch my RAM at all. Interesting. So we're going to click out of that. So apparently it's a bit of a resource hog right now. Very interesting. I never realized that. Like I said, I don't play with Pop OS. A couple of people have, asked me about it, and some of them have gone and were using it, and so they wanted me to do a little review on it. So anyhow, so there's that in the category for utilities. You have image viewer, the applications, the runner, the applications launcher, workspaces launcher, text info, USB flasher, which is their USB maker. They have their document, their PDF viewer, which is their document viewer and scanner as well. And then they've got their video software right here for watching videos. I think you can. What does the edit button do? Oh, you can actually rename it. Got you. If you want to call it something else, you can name that, or you can actually delete it. That's interesting. And you can actually create a folder and actually drag, stuff into it. That's pretty cool too, that you can customize this. That's awesome. That is pretty doggone awesome. For weather, it's got a nice little weather app, which if you do this, and we'll just go ahead and put in Tacoma, Washington, where I live at. Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Actually, Tacoma Narrows is closer. And this is our weather that we're having right now. Look at this. We're going to have snow tonight. Interesting. Very interesting. February, we're getting snow. Anyhow, that's a little look at the little weather app they have available. And then, of course, on the dock down below, you've got your showrunner launcher, which is really, really nice. And what's nice about this is that, like, say you want to do Firefox, right? You can just type it in here, and it is right there. And, of course, you can use your arrow keys to navigate up and down, which that's kind of interesting, too, about Pop! OS. One of the things that they do is they offer a tiling window manager. Just go ahead and close out Firefox. They offer this little button right here in the top right-hand section next to your system tray and your power session buttons, right? And your hidden notifications, hidden notification panels, right? You click this, and this turns on tiling windows. So if you turn it on, right, now we're tiling, right? Now we click on it. It gives you little shortcuts, and this is where getting to, being a new to Linux user, this is kind of nice because that's the one thing about this desktop that I really, really would make me promote it to new to Linux users, because it could actually, if you're a quick learner, you can go from being a point and click user to an actual power user by learning how to use shortcuts. If you want to become a power user in Linux, keyboard shortcuts are the way to do it. Now, there are keyboard shortcuts that you could set in all of the desktop environments. Some of them are a lot more customizable than others, like KDE. You could literally set keyboard shortcuts for everything. And some of the other ones only have limited amount that you can do. But window managers, that's really where it's at. They are not a desktop environment. They're just the actual compositor and a window manager and you have launchers that you install and you navigate around using shortcuts, and you launch the applications via shortcuts. So this kind of bridges that gap and teaches you that, but having the safety net of the actual desktop environment there available for you. So that's why this is one definite one up that above all the new to Linux user desktop environments that are out there that I would recommend, honestly. And another one is KDE. KDE also has a tiling window manager as well, a tiling toggle that you can, extension that you could put into it, or not extension, but script or whatever that you can actually turn on and use it in a tiling window fashion as well. So, I mean, that's what's really nice. You can even adjust the gaps to make it look good. You can do the active border radius, which is, already set to that. It's very nice. Like I said, it is not as comprehensive as a tiling window manager, but it's enough to let you see the difference. So I'd have fun with that if I were you guys. Give that a try. Figure it out. Learn how to navigate around in it and increase your workflow. And so then you have your power session, which I didn't go over, which has got your wired and your notifications as well. And you can log in and out there. So then you have your show applications, which is the same thing on the bottom. And then you got Firefox already pinned there, which you can add or remove. We've already opened up Firefox. Let's go ahead and, not now, we're going to go ahead and close it. Then the file managers here, which I do believe it's GNOME files that they're using. But it more than likely isn't GNOME files. It's a regular GNOME file browser. And it's probably the GNOME terminal that they're using as well. Which probably got branded to Pop! OS. And that's their terminal. And then their system application, which is their Pop Shop right here. Now, Pop Shop is just like every one of your other application software center where you can install your different applications here. Like you can install Steam. These are obviously it's going to open up to the more, let's go ahead and make it full screen for you guys. And this is basically their default welcome page. It's going to show you the most commonly installed or the most recommended ones by them, and ones that are recently updated. So you can kind of like find what you need right here that are the commonly used ones. And also then they've got it all broke down into categories, like accessories, fun and games, privacy and security, And of course, you could always do the wonderful, if you go up to the top, you can search. Like, let's search for OBS, which is a very, a recording studio so that you can stream and you could actually, record video, record your desktop, all kinds of different things. So, I mean, they've got this. Then they've even got Arduino IDE. And they got Atom, which is a text editor that you can actually, hack and make look like whatever you want. You can customize it. And then you go back to home. So, I mean, there's that. And then on the installed section, this here will tell you all the different things that need to be updated, which is pretty much everything for the most part. And then if you click on the hamburger button menu over here, you can check for updates and software sources, which is going to tell you which repositories are available, which ones are not. Like extra sources. This is where you could add other PPAs, like the Ubuntu PPAs, Debian repositories right here. And then also you could actually they have the Flatpak repo, FlatHub, already installed and ready to go. So FlatHub is available to you there. So that is a look at the Pop Shop. And then, of course, we have the settings button next to that, which we've already been into. And you already know how to use that, and we've navigated that. And that will conclude our cursory overview of Pop OS install and cursory review of what comes with it. And once again, I will reiterate that yes, this is definitely a very nicely and well put together distribution for new to Linux users. It is good for gaming. It is good for pretty much so general use. It's got the codecs already enabled right out the box for it, so you're good to go on that kind of stuff. If you know something that I forgot to mention in this video, please go ahead and leave a comment down below. Also, if you have a suggestion, you could either reach me, on Twitter. You can reach me on all the pretty much. I'm also on IG, Facebook, and also email. And also, you can leave a comment in the comments down below if there's something you'd like me to do for you guys or a suggestion. You guys have a great day. You guys keep doing what you do and keep on Linuxing and stay blessed. Hi, guys. I'd like to say thanks for watching the video. It really means the world. But before we go, I'd like to thank my Patreons, Brian Bomarito and Mislav Presla. They help keep the lights on, and I really, really appreciate them. If you'd like to become a Patreon like them, visit me over at my Patreon page, Linux_tube, and help out if you can. Really appreciate you guys taking the time. Thank you so much. Have a great day.